Welcome back to Lost Legacies.
A Hidden City Book Company production.
I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here. We made it. Thank you for sticking around with us. If you did, where we were talking about all of our movies, even our surprise Superman episode with Dad. We've been having a blast. We've been living it up, kicking it, chill maxing, relaxing. But now we're back. Now we're serious. Now we're getting into it. We're starting off again with Andor. But I guess before we really jump in, Matt, any updates? How you doing? What's going on?
Pretty good. I guess hot news. A couple days ago,
Love hot news.
it was revealed that Taylor Swift's new album is dropping on October 3rd, I think.
Okay.
Wow, I guess we have a Taylor Swift hater here, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Wow. So I forgot what it's called, like The Life of a Showgirl, The Secret Life of a Showgirl, something like that.
Yeah.
But I read an article and it said that even though she hasn't revealed the cover art, she's been using the color orange a lot in like her branding and her teasing of this, album, this reveal. And now companies across the planet are using orange in their branding. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. However, we've been using orange for a couple months now. So I like to think that she listens to our Andor episodes and she's like, you know what? We're gonna go orange with this one.
So
Like,
what you're
oh,
saying? So what you're saying is Taylor Swift ripped us off.
I'm saying fan of the pod, Taylor Swift used this as inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
I could see her as a Star Wars girly. I can see that.
Mm,
You don't think so?
no, I don't think so.
I don't know. I am curious, like, why we have these feelings here about Taylor Swift, but I'd rather not on the pod because then we would get destroyed. If you want to talk about getting canceled,
Oh yeah.
we would get canceled so fast.
All of the political stuff we've said,
Mm-hmm.
on this pod pales
Mm-hmm.
in comparison to the hate we would get from the Swifties.
Yeah, that's true.
I I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I think all the marketing conspiracies and all that about like, oh, like she's been planning this for forever. I think that's more interesting than
Oh,
the end product.
totally. Same
But
here.
even then I'm how much of this is just coincidental,
Oh,
Like
I don't believe any of it is. I honestly believe there's a huge thought out strategy because like
a
there's
multi-year strategy though? Like that's kind
I
of
wouldn't be
wild.
surprised, especially when she drops an album literally every 2 years.
Mm,
Like from a professional standpoint and a business standpoint, it's already planned,
mm,
you know, which is interesting. And I just find very difficult as a creative person because it's like, who knows where your head's going to be at, you know? Like imposing such a tight like time frame on yourself,
mhm.
and it's like what if she's not inspired to make an album fast enough? So I mean that's from the creative side of it for me, but I'm like, yeah, like there's so many quote unquote coincidences in her whatever you want to call it, like what you call conspiracies. I'm like, this is like this is so tight, this is like locked
Mm,
down, this is like lost in real life, like the online games that they used to do. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
And then like Olivia Rodrigo started doing some of that with hers. I'm
Mhm.
like, that's interesting. So like there's all these theories now on what her next album is going to be called and stuff, and what the color scheme is going to be for her album. I'm like,
Mm.
that's interesting. And to see all those theories were correct with her second album, I was like, oh, interesting. That's what really kind of turned me onto it. I'm like, what is everyone talking about? Like what with the colors and the word, like the wording, and especially because I guess both our albums were just like one word titles.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so they're like, oh, so what's this next one's gonna be called this? I'm like,
yeah.
it's just kind of cool because like I'm not really in that fandom, but just to
Yeah.
hear, I don't know, the world building, if that, is that what we want to call it?
Sure.
The
Yeah.
world building of Olivia Rodrigo and the lore of Taylor Swift, just like
Uh-huh.
however they do it, like I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty genius marketing. And also like there's a healthy dose of pettiness in all of this as well. In all
Mm.
of Taylor Swift's things, like, okay, it's going to be exactly on this day because that's the date that so and so did this to her or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
mm, that is pretty good. I'm like, all right, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's clever. I
That's
think
a lot. That,
yeah. I
that
as far as the music, don't ask me anything. I don't know anything about Taylor Swift's music.
look, don't get me wrong, like
Yeah.
some of the songs are a bop, And I'm like,
Sure. Yeah.
okay, sure. Yeah, yeah. Like I can't deny the talent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's just it's building up it's so much clout
Mm.
kind of for,
Mm-hmm.
nothing.
Mm.
I can't even tell you what was what was a song off of her last one. What was it?
Yeah.
The Dead Poet Society, something
Yeah.
like that.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. Like I'm just not a I'm not a real I'm not a Swiftie,
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
um there were albums that I enjoyed and that was all in like the pre Taylor era, like before she owned her own stuff. So at
Hmm.
least I'm glad that she's getting her own, she's getting her due. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so I think more of like the poppy stuff I was kind of into, but
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. Listeners, if you have any theories on Taylor Swift or Olivia Rodrigo in any sense of the word, send them our way.
Mm.
You know, the meanings, the secrets, the hidden secrets of the songs. Yeah,
If they are in fact fans of the podcast,
oh yeah, if they
now that I
listen,
would
let
be
us know.
very interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure this is going to be Taylor Swift's last episode of Lost Legacies that she listens to. So,
She was a real
uh,
fan. Oh, okay, okay. Hang on, hang on.
T, thank you for joining us. It's been a blast.
What's today's date? Okay, today is August 15th,
Oh
2025. So
man.
that means
But this is going
August
to
15th
air.
in 2020. Oh, that's right. When is it going to air?
This is going to
That's the
air on
thing.
Monday, so
Okay, okay.
August 18th.
Okay.
So in her next album in
It,
2027,
yeah,
look
yeah.
for the date August 18th and then we'll
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We'll know. We'll know for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Playing the long game. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect the pettiness. All right. All right, T Swift, you got me back on board.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know who else is back on their bullshit?
Who?
Tony Gilroy. Let's get into this episode.
Wow, we're just hopping in. We're hopping into Andor, season 2, episode 1, 1 year later,
Hmm.
in which we're catching up with everyone 1 year later.
Yeah, yeah.
Or as we like to call it, uh Bubble Butt Yoda 4.
That's right. Oh man. All right. So I liked everything about this episode
Hmm.
except for this new group of rebels, man.
Well, that is kind of the point. Um,
Yeah, but we could talk about them later.
I
Uh,
feel like we should talk about them now
you
because
want to talk about it first? It's so
let's
weird
get them out
because
of the way.
because like they're part of Andor's story. And I'm like,
Hmm.
he had like the very cool opening. I love the opening where he has to steal the fighter and he has the talk with that Empire girl. And I'm like, I dig this. And I even love what she's saying. She's like, I know this might sound bad, but like I had fun here. And I'm like, yes. And I think that's kind of what we talked about last season. Like, where are the quote unquote good people in the Empire?
Hmm.
Because the sad, harsh reality of fascism and an empire like this is that there's so many people who just get caught up in it, and they're
Hmm.
just people just living their lives. And it's like we've always seen the the villains of the Empire leading all of this, and especially, it did work, but last season when the lieutenant guy is having the conversation with the comms guy, and it's just like a simple conversation, and then he kind of ends it a little racist, and you're like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to see this from this young girl's perspective. And she's like, I had fun here, but she still knows what she's got to do,
Hmm.
and I'm like, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Because there's so many just normal people just doing whatever they have to do to get to the next day to day. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, like that was really cool. And then that immediately shifts into this really cool sequence and again, it's subverting expectations because that's something we haven't seen in the Empire yet. And then we get Andor trying to steal this starfighter, and he doesn't know how to fly it, and
Yeah.
he's not a natural at it. And I'm like, yes, again, subverting expectations. That's
Hmm.
They did it really well in season one, and like that was a perfect example of what's happening in this episode. I'm
Hmm.
like, all right, that's awesome. I thought it was all cool. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he gets to the planet where he's gonna hand it off to Porker. Is that the guy's name?
No, Matt. Porco.
Porco. I wish we could have met Porco.
I know,
Um,
right? That'd be my role.
mhm. I just imagine like the Swedish chef for some reason.
Rebellion.
um, but yeah, like this rebel faction is there. What like who's their leader? What's her name?
Maya Pei.
Maya Pei.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. She was mentioned. She was mentioned last season.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's done in a way where like humorous. I'm like, all right, this is cute at first in the first scene. Like they're a bunch of idiots, but it
Hmm.
goes
Hmm.
on, and I'm like, this sucks. This just really sucks. And
Sure.
and then
Sure.
the very last scene where they all turn on each other, you're like, this just became very terrifying. I
Yeah.
wish it was that from the first scene. Like, never, not once did I think Andor was in danger until that last scene. I'm like,
Hmm.
yes, this is what I want to see. I want to see the stakes. And we'll talk about it later, but I think a big part of it was the editing too, because they keep cutting back to new cast member, what's his name? From
Oh,
Rogue One.
Ben Mendelsohn. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the character's name?
Um. Hang on. Hang on. Krennic.
Krennic.
Yes.
Keep cutting back to Krennic, which is such a deliciously evil scene,
Hmm.
and it's just as long. Like half of this episode is cutting back and forth between that conference room and
Hmm.
then the rebels on the
Yeah.
planet. And the conference room, it's so well written, it's so good. And then we keep cutting back to these idiots. And I'm like,
Hmm. Can I talk to you about them?
yeah, but last thing I'll say before
Okay.
before I finish is like this is something that belongs in Clone Wars. Like early Clone Wars when it was still a kid show.
Okay. Uh-huh.
That's my feelings on it. I'm just like, all right.
All right. Now, a lot of people had similar feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Gilroy has come out and
Mm-hmm.
said, one of the guys, not the guy with the beard, that is Samuel Gilroy. I believe that's his son or son-in-law. I'm
Okay.
I'm confused on the details. Um, these two characters of these two guys fighting each other
Mm-hmm.
are based off of uh his son and his son-in-law, their constant bickering at like dinner tables and just family engagements and all this stuff. And basically he decided that like want to have like some kind of like scene like this in the show, and then used it to sort of symbolize the destructive power of like infighting and
Mm-hmm.
being obsessed with, well, who is leading, who is in charge, like who is doing this, like this is what happens when you can have people from all walks of life coming into these groups,
Mm-hmm.
but when it becomes more about the hierarchy, that's when these systems fail. And
Hmm.
that's when the infighting starts. You know, it sort of is it's the end point sort of to what Saul Guerrera is saying to Luthen. You know, it's like every single one of these people believes in different things, and everybody believes that they're right, but they're all lost. Whereas like Luthen in that scene is also supposed to be the one that's like, we all just need to come together. It doesn't matter who's doing it. We're all doing the same thing. Let's
Hmm.
just all work together. So like this is sort of like that like end point to all of that. Uh and yeah, we'll see what happens, you know, but yeah, like it is essentially like it is this commentary on the even though there can be good within a group and a group can be like doing, you know, good works and good things, how quickly it can all just fall apart and, you know, and how teeter-tottering this fight to end oppression is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Good for him. I don't think it's well done at all.
Okay.
Especially when you have such a show that's such a high bar for acting and writing to have these scenes like this. I'm just like, it feels like a choice, and I just think it the wrong choice. Like you can still convey that message
Mm.
without writing a bunch of idiots. Like
But that's what they are, dude. They're just idiots. That's what it
yeah,
comes down to. You know, it's
but
like,
I mean, it's just I don't know. It kind of just defeats not that it defeats the point of like I don't know. I mean, because like in this at that last part before they start shooting each other, it's like, damn man, this really sucks because you know they're all fighting for the same thing.
mm,
Um, they just can't get over their differences. You lose their leader and they're just all lost. You
yeah.
know, I'm like that sucks. It would have been nice if we would have been able to explore that before everything comes to a head in that final scene.
Mm,
No, I mean it's just the you know how I feel about bickering. It needs to be done well, and I don't think it was done well. And it was several scenes of just constant repeat. I can't fly the fighter. Well, he can tell you. He's not going to tell you. And I'm just like over and over. And not even that. I'm like, okay, this is getting repetitive, but it's not even that that got to me. It was just that I'm like, again, I never felt any danger for Andor until the very end. And I'm like, I would have taken this a lot more serious if they weren't idiots. Because
mm.
again, this happens in real life.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen just because they're idiots. The way it's portrayed here is like this is happening because they're undisciplined, untrained, almost children. But the
Mm,
reality is, this is war. This happens to even the most devout, hardcore people. You
mm,
know, like if you had brought, granted, Stellan Skarsgård and Forrest Whitaker and tremendous actors, if you brought someone to do like an acting caliber scene like they had, and to go head to head like that, and then that leads to them shooting each other, that would have been insane, you know? And I'm just like, okay, I mean, I not saying that I wanted that for those characters specifically, but in the case of this comes down to more of like, okay, yeah, I get it. They're running around with like chickens with their heads cut off without their leader. Like, I can get it. I don't know. I just think there could have been a much better way to sell this, and I think it also would have been more heartbreaking if they were more serious down with if this had happened to someone like Vel's group.
yeah.
That would have been crazy because you know we take them seriously. We don't really see what they're capable of, but we see what they're committed to. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know what these guys are committed to because they're comedy relief, and I'm just like, I don't know. I could completely change my tone next episode on these characters, but then that would just kind of further cement my feelings. But like, yeah, why didn't we get this in the first episode? Like why do I care what these guys are doing, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just a preference thing, but like it instantly took me out of it. It felt like a scene from a Star Wars movie or a Star Wars cartoon. It didn't feel like a scene that I was expecting
From
in Andor.
Finn Andor.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
ah, man. I'm like, okay, all right. So we'll see what happens next week. But even then, that was pretty much it. It just sucks that that kind of happens to our main character because everything else in the this episode, other than it just ends. When it ended, I was like, what? That's it? It's like 53 minutes? I'm like, holy crap. Like,
Welcome back.
I was like, dude, man, I wanted it to keep going. You know, I'm like, that is a credit to the show, I guess. But uh again, like these aren't like complete chapters, you know, it's just like, okay, this is just another section, another section. We got to see it like that.
Yeah.
So kind of getting back into the groove like those first 6 episodes of season 1, you know. Um, but everything else, man, my favorite stuff of this episode was all the wedding, the Mon Mothma stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you know, you want to talk about childish, immature kids, but something that's taken very seriously.
Hmm.
That whole thing with her daughter, Lita, you know, I'm like, I love how like joyful she is showing her friends like the wedding dress just being displayed there. And it's like,
Hmm.
okay, she's down, she's in, you know. I
Hmm.
we were kind of left questioning at the end. We didn't really know. It's like, okay, she's all in. Um, but to see that kind of storyline end with her crying and she says Mon is like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "He's just so immature. He's a child." She's like, "What happened?" He wouldn't hold my hand. And she takes a good beat until she keeps talking. I'm like, "Oh my God. Perfect.
Hmm.
Perfect acting choice and or directing choice." I'm like, "That was brilliant." I
Hmm.
thought that was good.
Hmm.
So yeah. I don't know what's going on with Tay, but separated or separating from his wife. I'm like, okay, some
Yeah.
kind of pressure there, or it's
Hmm.
because he's fallen in love with Mon. She was right there all along until she wasn't, and now when it's too late, he's making his move. I'm like, I don't know, dude. There's a rebellion at stake here.
Uh-huh.
I love that. I love the scene between what's it, Perrin, the dad,
Yeah.
Perrin, and then the gangster guy.
Davo, yeah.
Davo, that was cool. I like that a lot. Where he says, what does he say about?
They're talking about Davo's kid. And
Yeah,
Tay is just like, is he strong?
yeah. Is he strong enough, basically, for his daughter?
Yeah, for his
And
daughter.
Davo's
And
like,
and
no.
Davo's just like, not by half, but
Yeah,
he'll either learn or he'll be led.
yeah. I'm like, dude,
Like,
that's such an
wow.
awesome moment because we don't really get to see like a human side to Perrin because it's kind of all from Mon's perspective.
Hmm.
And then Davo, we know nothing about him other than he's a gangster.
Hmm.
So to kind of see this kind of private moment between these just two dudes, I'm like, that was nice.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
nice. But that whole sequence, I loved it. Almost each scene starts off with kind of an establishing shot because they
Hmm.
really want to show you these sets they built.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, and then they'll cut into a close up, get really intimate with the characters, and at some point, like halfway through the scene, it cuts back to the establishing shot, and there's usually like a pillar or a curtain or something in the foreground, and it
Hmm.
just gives you this weird feeling that like they're not alone. Like
Yeah.
there's always someone watching. And in this case, it's us. We're the ones watching, and we hope it's just us
Hmm.
peeking in, you know. I think especially with the scene between Mon and Tay, you know, it's like we don't want anyone else to hear what they're talking about, you know. And then it
Hmm.
kind of cuts and there's like this weird chain curtain, you know, that between them and the camera. And I'm like, oh, just a sense of like unease and nothing is safe. And
Yeah.
like, oh man, I love it. Which is perfect because they're on what's the planet called? Gamora?
Chandrilla.
Chandrilla.
What
What's
did you say?
Gamora? What's their
Come on.
what are they called? Like their race, their species, their culture.
The Chandrillans.
I thought there's something with a G.
No.
Hmm. It must be the other Star Wars show I have a
Are
podcast
you thinking
about.
of Gorman?
Oh, Gorman. That's right. That's the other scene.
That's
Okay.
completely different.
That's a whole other scene. All right. That's my other Star Wars podcast, guys.
Oh god.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so Chandrila, that's right. Okay. So yeah, especially because it seems they're 1 year further into this empire, this reign, and everything seems kosher on this planet, you know. I mean, a beautiful planet,
I
but
mean,
of
yeah.
course, this is like the rich Mothma estate.
Yeah.
But like it's kind of cool that camera wise, it was always a little invasive just to make you feel not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. So
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, not much from Luthen in this episode. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking for Cassian.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
But I
Um,
mean, he's also there and is
yeah,
unexpected that
yeah,
he's on Chandrilla, you know?
yeah. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, do love that. I love where he's like mingling in the at the party that they're having, finds
Hmm.
out that like somebody is from like, oh, I'm stationed at Steerguard Station, you know. It's like we're all everybody's planning on leaving soon. He's like, "Oh, really? Where's everybody going?" Like,
Hmm.
and he's such a bouffant, you know, like he's
Yeah,
just so, you know, he's just eating it up in this role and you're like, "Oh, yeah, this is 100% how he gets all of his info."
yeah. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Um, we find out that oh, okay, who's his assistant lady?
Clea.
Clea's there as well. Just being very pessimistic, negative Nancy as always. But I mean, I guess
That's why we love her,
you
you
need to
know?
have someone like that on your team if you're going to fight a
You
empire.
Yeah,
So
you need the pragmatist. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So but there was some tension between her and Vale, who we
Oh
find out
yeah.
is single in this episode. I'm like, interesting,
Well,
interesting.
kind of.
Well,
Cuz I took that as like I mean, one, I took that as kind of like a slight, you know? Like
mm,
Clea's obviously just like saying like for the purposes of the role, you know, it's like we're just two single women eyeing the prospects.
that's true. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and
yeah.
like obviously we the viewers know that like, well, wait a second, Vel and
Hmm.
Cinta,
Yeah,
they're
we're
an
Cinta.
item, like they're
Yeah,
supposed to be together. So for me
but
it's kind of like a twofold thing of like Clea I feel like is saying that just to like, you know, like it's an appearance, you know, it's part of the role, you
sure.
know, but Vel is just immediately like just looks her up and down and like turns away and I'm like,
Yeah, it's Vel's
yeah,
reaction that kind of gives it away. I'm like, okay, either
yeah,
she's single or there's just like season one, there's trouble in paradise. You're like, all right, all right.
yeah, yeah.
So that was good. Good
I
acting on both their parts.
I love I know we were talking about the camera work
Hmm.
like there and how it's like just a little invasive. I love like the oneer, like the opening oneer that we get when everybody lands, you know,
Oh yeah.
like at the landing pad like cuz it goes on for a bit and I'm like, "Whoa.
Hmm.
Whoa, this is crazy." Like a one tracking shot, you know,
That's a
just
hella big
following
set.
Mon. Yeah.
Because especially because it's like stairs. Like she's going down
Mm-hmm.
like the like kind of towards like the landing zone. I'm like, dude, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Like, I wonder if that was like a real life location. Like, it wasn't a set. They just
I
dressed it up.
I feel like it has to be, you know, like
Right?
they dressed it up enough to make it look Star Warsy, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Man. Yeah, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I loved all of that, and I'm always
Yeah.
down for a good TV wedding.
Oh yeah.
It never goes well. So, let's see. What else happened? Oh, on the farming planet.
Mm-hmm.
What was that planet?
I don't remember.
I don't remember
I'll look.
either.
I'll make a note of it for next time though.
Farmyard 6.
Yeah, in the outer rim.
Yeah. Again, beautiful, gorgeous, looks
Mm-hmm.
untouched by the Empire,
Mm-hmm.
until we see the ship coming at the end. You're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that. Like they kind of start this episode with like teasing like this freedom and like these beautiful locales and stuff, and then just slowly. pulling
Hmm.
it back, kind of like Morlana won the beach, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but all that's good. Uh, what's his name?
Yeah. Brazo.
Brazo. He's found a girlfriend. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was trying to
Girlfriend.
think. What was I gonna say? Like,
What are you trying to
I don't
say?
know. A lady friend.
She's a nice lady.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a nice redhead.
Yeah.
Um,
Good for him.
I kind of like the little pods they're living out of. That's cool.
Right? Yeah.
Um, yeah, the kid grew up a lot in 1 year.
Hmm. And has like a kind of crush with, the
Yeah,
a
and he
local
doesn't want to
farm
like
girl.
admit it. She's like, "Hey, man, just," and she's definitely into him.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Well, it's like Bix even said, she's just like, it's a long way between here and the watering station.
yeah. So, yeah, and she's having her nightmares.
Freaking creepy Dr. Gorst. Yeah.
Yeah, she's going through her PTSD and stuff. So, and
Hmm.
then B2 Emo is just chilling, still waiting for Andor.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to the lady who was with them. I hope she comes back because we didn't see a lot of her in the finale, but she seemed friendly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
They didn't really do much. A lot of this episode was just establishing where everyone's at, you know,
Yeah.
1 year later. So
1 year later, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then I think the bulk of this episode, man, and a lot of the weight was on the secret planet, on this secret outpost that
Mm-hmm.
no one's talking about, and then all they're gonna have all their data drives like erased
Mm-hmm.
to meet up with what Kenrick, right?
Krennic.
Krennic. Um
Matthew, you gotta learn these names,
oh,
man.
dude, it is weird names, man. I can't even remember standard English names. Um yeah, and yeah, man. So it's crazy how they're gonna basically mine the Gorman planet,
Hmm.
Gorma. I don't know what it's called.
No,
Uh,
it's just Gorman.
Gorman,
Hmm.
Gorman until they take all the resources. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh crap.
Now I was looking
Hmm.
at the trivia for this episode,
Hmm.
and I didn't realize that Gorman is a huge sort of inciting incident in a lot of the expanded universe.
Yeah.
And I had no idea, like, and that
Hmm.
because, for like as much as I love Star Wars, like a lot of the expanded stuff and a lot of like the other like the comics or the novels and stuff, that's all a
Yeah.
blind spot for me, because like I love the movies and I watch some of the shows,
Hmm.
I'll play video games. That's kind of it, as
Right.
far as I know. So like all the other stuff, I'm like, it's just a blur to me. So like learning that like, oh, Gorman is integral to, you know, like the Empire's plans and stuff. I was like,
Hmm.
oh, that makes it worse. That
Yeah.
makes this
And I
worse.
don't know like what you read or anything, and like, 'cause I don't know a lot of the EU stuff either,
Hmm.
but I have heard over the years about Gorman and what happens, and it's dark. And
Yeah.
I'm really curious. Like, I'm assuming we're gonna get some of it in the show.
Hmm.
I don't know how dark they're gonna go though.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, we'll see. I have like this knot in my stomach. Like, I think there's just watching the show. There's just a knot in your stomach anyway because of how dark, how political it is, how
Hmm.
relevant it is, unfortunately. But then also kind of knowing what happens in the EU, and I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh god. So yeah, so we'll see. How far did you get this season?
I watched 7 episodes and then just kind of stopped.
Yeah,
Um,
because he wanted to experience it with you listeners.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And you, brother.
Oh, there you go. Me too. Um, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
But dude,
So
that whole scene, just Ben Mendelsohn just chewing the scenery. I love the very propaganda type. Or it wasn't propaganda. It was like a tourist video that they played, and
yeah.
I like how long it went on. It went on a little long, but I'm
Hmm.
like, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm enjoying
Yeah.
it.
I was too, kind of because like I love the sort of like classic feeling, like
Yeah.
this is, the world of the future, just
Yeah.
beyond this
Yeah.
door, like it has like a kind of weird like Disney sort of vibe too,
Right.
when you think
Yeah.
about like, we're gonna do a video about the parks or the animation studio, so kind of, very meta
Yeah.
in that respect. You want to talk about propaganda though? They have those two guys from the Ministry of Enlightenment. Oh,
Hmm.
how very unsubtle, Orwell reference,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but it's crazy too how, they just like just very casually, just very offhanded. Because like, hasn't there always been something off about the gore? They're just very slightly, they're more snooty than everybody. And
Hmm.
it's like it's so interesting. What really got me about all those scenes was like these are like most of this room isn't necessarily like the top brass, quote
Hmm.
unquote, of the empire, but they're all very important figures in their divisions and in their departments. Like
Hmm.
some of them, over others. But Krennic even says that like your commanding officers probably like if they're not here, they didn't have clearance for the project. And it's like
Hmm.
that's so interesting
Hmm.
and what like the insidiousness of it is that you have all of these people in this room hearing the plan. One of them straight up says what the plan is, like, wait a minute, that this is gouge mining. It's just gouge mining. We're gonna gouge mine the planet.
Hmm.
And everybody gives pause to that and then cut to the idiots on the other planet back to the conference room. Oh, now we're having, desserts and we're having coffee. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, what if we do this? Like, like, it's such a crazy thing to like have a whole room pause to hold their breath to hear this horrible thing that they're about to talk about. And then just start talking about it, like the practicality and the logistics over
Hmm.
hors d'oeuvres, It's
Yeah.
it's it's scary in a way that is like, you know, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like you said, like there's a knot in your stomach every time you watch the show, and
Hmm.
especially when you get to a lot of these Empire scenes where you're just like, that's these people's job, and they just
Hmm.
do the job.
Hmm. And like even like in that scene, you could tell there are people who are questioning it, but they're not
Hmm.
the ones talking, you know? And then
Hmm.
okay, so who's Deidre's boss? What's his name?
Partagas.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
the P? Partagas?
yes.
Partagas. Yeah, and you could tell like I'm kind of nervous now about him because you could tell like he's not really sold on this. And like he has a lot of questions, and
Hmm.
like uh-oh.
Yeah,
Is this
especially
like his redeeming arc or like what's gonna happen? Like
even he like talks to the guy who says that we're gonna gouge mine the planet. Like he hasn't decided with him. And he's just like, well, how are like we don't have a presence on Gorman. Like, how are we even going to do that? It's just like, well, we're gonna build a an armory
hmm
tomorrow.
yeah, something
He's like,
like that. I was
what?
like, oh crap.
Like he's yeah, he's like he's scared. Like that's insane. Like
Hmm.
even this is the head of the Empire CIA, and he's kind of scared that like at how far the Empire is gonna go with this.
Hmm.
Like crazy.
How far they're gonna go and how like reckless, like just
Hmm.
recklessly forward and fast, like
Hmm.
it's because they don't care, you know.
Yeah.
They
Like
they they
who's
know,
gonna stop them?
yeah, like they're just gonna plow on through any opposition. So it's like, oh man.
Hmm.
So that's interesting. Deidre is a very interesting uh variable in this whole scenario,
Hmm.
and like she's looks disturbed by this whole thing. And then when she actually talks to Kenrick,
Krennic.
Krennic, Kren, Rick, Krenrick, right?
Kren
Kren,
Ick.
Krennick. Okay.
Krennic.
Krennic with an R, with a KR, Krennic. When she talks to Ken about it, and she's just very like matter of factly just says how she would do it. He's like, You can tell he's like, okay, I'm gonna have to think about that.
Hmm.
Uh, but still, then she's kind of like
Hmm.
almost like shooken, like shooketh of what she just said.
But even that is like after, her being confronted by Kenny,
Hmm.
um,
Ken
and he
Mendelsohn.
yeah, and he just basically, like tells her just as like, you think you're hard to read, you're not.
Yeah.
Like get over yourself. Essentially,
Hmm.
like the Empire is so strange about like how they like motivate people to improve
Hmm.
and succeed at their job.
Hmm.
But essentially, like, you know, straight up asks her like, I need to know your thoughts because, I heard about, Ferrex,
Yeah.
and it didn't completely destroy your career. So I
Yeah.
want to know what you think. And yeah, basically she essentially says that like you need rebels. You
Hmm.
need rebels that you can count on to do something in a crisis,
To do the
you know,
wrong thing at the right time.
at the right
And I'm
time.
like, dude, again, this is too real. This is too
Uh-huh.
real. I'm like, oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Hmm.
you're right. Like even she is kind of like shook that she's like said that.
So in her first episode in season one,
Mm-hmm.
when that douchebag uh
Blevin.
Blevin like takes her to talk to Partagas and all that stuff, blah blah blah. Partagas says like, I'm very glad to have you here with us, considering where you come from.
Mm-hmm.
Something from that. And I'm like, what the hell was he talking about? Is it because she's the only woman there, or is it because she's whatever?
Well, I think we talked about it before, but it's because she doesn't come from uh um like essentially like I don't think like she's this there's no nepotism involved, and it
Hmm.
doesn't sound like you know uh she was like high up in the military or anything like that. I think somewhere along the lines they said that she was like a corrections officer or something, and like that's how she was coming up with like access, and how piecing together all the stolen equipment and all the other things back in season 1, where it's like it's too random to be random. She's thinking about it like a cop would. And
Hmm.
I think that's where her story is like she was like an imperial cop.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, it is kind of like you were like a beat cop, or like a just you're a city detective, and now you're in the CIA,
Yeah.
you know?
All right. Well, I'll still keep that thread open just because, like, I don't remember hearing anything about that. Like,
Mm.
I don't know, because I remember hearing that. I was like, what was he talking about? Is she like autistic? Is it because she's a woman? Like, I was like, I'm like really curious.
Yeah.
Like, what did he
Yeah.
mean by that? Um, so I don't know. Is she Gorman? Who knows? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Yeah, man. Solid episode for the most part.
Hmm. We talked about it, but again, I do want to shout out uh Raquel Diedrix, who
Mhm.
played Naya. She was the Imperial technician
Oh, okay.
at the beginning of the episode. I
Hmm.
want to shout out both her and Diego Luna's scene together, because like that was just, I don't know, like brilliant acting. Like
Yeah.
Diego Luna is a star and a producer on this show, and
Hmm.
it shows. He's like, I
Hmm.
want to have a monologue, and I want you to use my good side, and I want to be able to do this. But it all comes off really well. It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can sell me on this. Like, this is fantastic. You're basically telling somebody who is still having doubts,
Hmm.
that like all of this is normal, you know?
And I hope we don't see her again. It was just like, okay, she did her job. She helped out the rebellion.
Yeah,
If we do,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. I'm afraid something bad's gonna happen to her though. But like, there's a moment when I'm thinking, I'm like, man, when we first see Andor in Rogue One, he like guns down his informant. I'm like, he's not gonna kill this girl, right? Because I was
Yeah,
thinking they were gonna
yeah,
escape together. And
yeah.
so I was thinking, I'm like how's this gonna work? Or is he gonna kill her? leave her behind, you know, like because she can't get interrogated. So like I don't know like how far into this rebellion is he now, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So no, but what it ended off with was with a really good, just powerful scene, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, kudos to her. Hopefully it's the start of a long, fruitful career.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because that scene was probably the highlight of the episode, along with all the Mon Mothma stuff. Like,
Yeah.
again, this so much of the show is just talking and walking, and it's just so good. You
Hmm.
know, it's so good. Like,
And then there's the little bits that are absolutely no walking or talking, and it's just flying and shooting lasers at fascists. And
yeah, that was a
man,
great scene,
it
man.
was incredible.
Yeah.
That is the TIE Avenger that has
Hmm.
been in Star Wars before.
Hmm.
And it finally made its way back into the franchise proper.
Hmm.
I like as soon as I saw it, like I was like, I feel like I recognize the ship. And then after I saw the episode, I just went online and like all of these websites, all these people are just being like, "It's back! Oh my god, the Tire Avenger!" I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" Like, please, Lego. I know we only have one Andor Star Wars set. If you don't want to give us any, if you want to give us just one more, just one,
Yeah.
give us the TIE Avenger set with
Yeah.
hangar base set with Andor and like two, three stormtroopers. I'll pay $75 for it. That's fine.
And again, it was just like Vale's heist. They didn't know how to get that thing off the ground.
Yeah,
They're gonna have to figure it out in the spot, and it's like,
yeah.
oh, geez,
And I do.
they sent the
I
right guy.
Yeah. Well, and I love what you said too earlier, where it was like it's such a subversion, because like we're coming at this from, I don't even really know if like Star Wars has always necessarily been, particularly subversive, especially like the movies. I feel like they're kind of, you know,
Versive.
archetypical of like they're all the Star Wars movies are all heroes' journeys, and so
Hmm.
everybody's kind of supposed to be the best at what they do.
Hmm.
They run into trouble, that's just part of the journey. I feel like this is the the subversion here is like you've got the guy like he even said in season one, it's just like I can fly anything,
Hmm.
like he's that confident and sure in his abilities.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, cool, he's a test pilot, he's posing as a pilot, okay,
Hmm.
he's gonna go, like he's gonna steal the ship. It's like, yeah, yeah. And then the second he gets in the cockpit, he's like, I don't know what's happening. I
This
don't.
isn't right.
It's like where's
There's where are the
like the
things?
fact that he looks and he like tries to like there's no chair. He like
Yeah.
tries to like pick it up. And he's like, come on, oh,
Hmm.
okay. And then yeah, like it's such a like it really takes a lot of the like like the heat out of just out of the scene because you're like. Oh, okay, but you're gonna get there, right? Like
Yeah.
you're gonna like the doors are open, so now you're just gonna fly off, right? And he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, nope, yeah, backed in reverse, and you're like, oh,
But like it's all sold. Like
yeah,
none of it was comedic. That's the thing. You
yeah,
know, it was all sold because like, yeah, this is he doesn't he I keep hitting this thing. He doesn't know how to fly. Who would? It's a secret project, right?
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like if it was Han and Chewie, they would have figured it out, you know.
Hmm.
Star
No,
Wars,
like because it's Han and Chewie. I feel like Chewie would be like, and Han would just be like, yeah, we just touch this thing, and then shoots that laser off. I
maybe,
don't
but I
know.
mean, like they would have figured something out, you
Yeah,
know. But this happened because it was this character and it's
yeah,
this show. Like we see it in every single movie franchise out there, you know. He goes like he takes off and the ship flies down. It crashes and we're like, wait a second, just give it a second or two. It's going to
hmm
shoot back up.
yeah. It shoots
You
back
know,
up.
it
Yeah.
happens in everything. Technically, it does happen in this, but he's like pinballing through the canyon. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, you know? And then the fact, like, okay, he takes the hard turn, and I'm like, oh, the TIE fighters are going to crash into it. Any other Star Wars, they would have. And
Hmm.
sure enough, they didn't. They take the hard 90-degree turn. I'm like, nice. It's
Yeah.
once he actually shoots like the canyon thing above him and it crashes on top of all of them. I'm like, nice.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So that's like the subversion. Like it's like, okay, we know it's gonna shoot back up. Oh, but it kind of does it, you
Yeah,
know? And
yeah.
then like, okay, I love when he rocks back. I'm like, okay, cool. And he starts shooting the I love how he just shoots all the
Yeah.
stormtroopers. You know, I was like, okay, that's cool. He has to shoot his way out the door. I'm like, okay, he's gonna blow it up now with that giant laser the gun thing he has. Nope, he
Mhm.
just crashes through it. I'm like, and then even then, he
He has
still
to,
crashed. He's
yeah.
skidding down. I'm like, oh my God. Like he's not figuring it out.
And before he even crashes through, he's still got to take on the guy with the rocket launcher.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, he's like, oh, dodging
yeah,
that out of the way. You're like, yeah. Oh man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Perfect. Perfect scene.
that's a way where you could really integrate like the humor and the fun into the reality of the situation. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So yeah. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to the next episode. I hope it's longer. I want them to go the Stranger Things route. I want each episode to be 2 hours. Just go for it.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
too.
So
It's yeah. That's always my thing too, especially when like this is like you're not gonna get more. You plan for that. Like just give us more of the
give us a
episode.
little more. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 Yeah. Give me an hour and a half episode. I'm fine. Tell your
Right.
whole story. Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if we get an hour long episode next time when we talk about Andor season 2, episode 2, Sagrona Tima.
Ooh. Sounds like a wine.
In which Cassian finds himself caught between a splintered faction and Mon curves more wedding woes.
Mm.
Listeners, thanks for tuning in. We're back. Hope you're having as good a time as you can have with the show like Andor. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts on anything that we've talked about this episode. Hashtag us with Lost Legacies. We're on every platform. We will find it. Rest assured. And as always, you can find me on Instagram and Threads at Real. That's REEL Texas Weirdo.
Yeah, and I'm on Instagram and Threads at Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch, and on BluSky at Matthew Jimenez.
Alrighty then. Well, until next time, fight the Empire.